Hello and welcome to Hot Indonesia, the mental remedy for tired thoughts. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Here is this week's H-I Hotlist. Beating bullies. It killed an Indonesian-Japanese celebrity. How bullying can ruin lives. We talk with victim Dian Paramita. New abnormal. Will we get the COVID-19 transition period right? And Back to the Future. Dinner and a movie date under the stars. Okay, here are my co-hosts each and every week. And guys, forgive me for the glasses. You know I'm recovering from some minor eye surgery. Sandrina Malakiano is a former TV news anchor, now a political marketing consultant from her home in South Tangerang. And Sandiaga Uno, business leader and former vice governor of Jakarta from his sanctuary in South Jakarta. Here's hot topic number one, beating bullies. Now, she was a star in Japanese professional wrestling. Hana Kimura was also on a reality TV show where she received constant social media hate messages for her Indonesian heritage. On May 23rd, after posting suicidal messages, she was found dead. The issue of stricter penalties for bullying is again being discussed by Japanese lawmakers. Now, in another time, bullying, as you guys know, is simply called hate mail. There are laws, strict laws here in Indonesia against online defamation. Sandrina, very sad story to hear from Japan.
Indeed, Dalton. Not only Japan, but we've heard quite a lot of South Korean artists have also committed suicide because of online abuse. And closer to home, even in Indonesia, we have lots of bullying cases. Hopefully none will end up with suicide, but I've heard about cases in schools, students committing suicide because of the depression caused by bullying at school. We've seen viral videos of physical abuse and also mental bullying in various provinces in Indonesia. This is a serious case because in the long run, the future of our younger generation depends on how the government and the schools take care of this.
Yeah, very good point. And we're going to talk to a victim very shortly, as we said earlier. Now, Sandy, real quickly, should we have tougher laws that maybe can get to the identities of those who bully people online or in person?
First of all, it is really a tragic event, a great loss. And I think we in the digital worldwide community needs to be more responsible, needs to have roles in order to prevent this from happening again. My wife Noor has her foundations dedicated to bullying, not only the direct bullying, but also now the non-traditional bullying, because this is the type of anonymous social media platform that attracts the young generations, the millennials, and we just need to make sure that we could pierce the sort of like this anonymous veil in order to make sure that people who are responsible can be identified. And this is something that we need to make sure we end the vicious cycle.
Yeah, Sandy, I didn't know your wife had that foundation about bullying, so that's really cool. Let's talk to her sometime about it. But for now, let's meet our guest, Dian Paramita. She is a native of Yogyakarta, presently working out of Bali as the Indonesia digital organizer of 350.org, and that is a nonprofit focusing on climate crisis. Now, Dian, you know, I've known you for a while, and you tell me stories about you being bullied in your past life or in younger years. Couple stories, please. How bad was it, and how did it affect your life?
Well, bullying is not a joke. It's a crime, I think, because it destroyed my adult life. When I was in middle school, I got bullied by 99% who bullied me are boys, and they said I'm ugly and disgusting. Not just words, but the way they act to me and the way they make jokes about how ugly I am. It really makes me believe that I'm ugly. But I fight it with smiling. I don't want them to think that I am weak or destroyed by them. But actually, in my deepest heart, I trust that words from them. And then until now, in my adult life, I understand that a lot of issue in my life is the root of my issue in my life is because of that bully when I was a kid.
Okay, Sandy, question for Dion.
I think we need to ensure that there is this crime element so the law can ensure that and prevent bullying. What would you think? Because some of this cause is actually is a mental disorder in the later life. So, I mean, how do you prevent this from happening to young generations?
First of all, I think a lot of platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter already have their policies. So every time we post something that we know they know it's bullying or we can report them, then the account will be blocked or disabled. So we can trust them to do that. Other than that, what we can do is we have to comfort the victim. I got bullied for 10 years since I've been active in social campaign in the internet. I got bullied for 10 years that I look like a pig, that I look ugly and stuff like that. And the first thing that I need someone ensure me that I am not ugly. I don't ask people to say I'm beautiful, but just say that the bully is wrong and the bully is not funny. The joke is not funny. So I think what we can do right now is just be a good bystander. If we see something like that, what I learned is not defending the victim, because usually like me, the victim doesn't want to be defended because we feel like weak if someone defend us. But focus on the bully and say to the bully, your joke is not funny at all. Do you think that's funny? And bully them back, but not with violence. Just talk about the joke is not funny, and then make him or her become the one who is not funny, and make them feel awkward.
Yeah, Dion, that's a good point. It's not your problem, it's the bully's problem. Sanjay, a question for Dion?
Yeah, I'm really sorry, Dian, to hear what happened to you. Well, if I look back to my yesteryears, actually, I also experienced some sort of bullying when I was in elementary school. But fortunately, I didn't feel like I was victimized, maybe because my parents, especially my mom, prepared me to face such a situation because she knew I was different. In my time, there were not a lot of bullies, mixed kids in my school. I was the only one. I was a redhead, so they called me names. They would just make fun of me. But it didn't affect me because of my mom prepared me in such a way. Did you tell your parents about what was happening? Did this become your support system to help you get through the situation?
Yes, I'm very, very close with my family. They know everything about my life. They're like my gang. So we're very, especially with my mom. But what I didn't do I didn't tell her is that I believe that I'm ugly. So I just told her that I got bullied. And then she makes me confident. So that's why I still have a lot of friends. I was very popular at school. In any school, I was popular. Everyone know Mimit in my school. I'm very sure about that. So I have a lot of friends. I was happy, but I always got bullied. So my mom makes me confident. But the thing is, I didn't tell her that I feel ugly, that I believe I'm ugly. If I can go back in time, I have to tell her I feel ugly, because then my mom will cut that belief and then say to me, no, you're not ugly, you're beautiful. And then that time I wouldn't take the burden until now in my adult life, because it's getting stronger. Even though people say I'm beautiful, I still feel ugly. And the worst is when I walk with someone, with a guy especially, even though it's just a friend, I feel like, oh, maybe he's ashamed walking with me because I'm ugly. So the effect is like that, as big as that. But don't worry, I have a really, really good support system. Dalton is one of it, and so I'm progressing. But I just realized in my adult life, so I really want people who are bullying, got bullied now to understand, seek help, tell them what they feel to the people they trust, and then make them know that the bully are wrong.
All right, Dian.
You have two more supporters here.
Yeah, exactly.
Sandrina and
Dian,
Santiago
you
Uno.
are fine. The bullies are the jerks. Okay, Dian Paramita, working in Bali, thank you very much for your personal story. Please take care. Hot Indo will continue shortly with the new abnormal. Are we transitioning properly to beat the coronavirus? You're watching Hot Indonesia with Sandrina, Sandy, and me. Here's hot topic number 2, the new abnormal. Many weren't surprised when the week began. Streets were substantially busier, the subway crowded, mosques, churches, and restaurants filled to restricted capacities. This comes after the Jakarta governor extended lockdown rules until the end of the month while opening sectors slowly. Now, first, busy streets mean business, which is a good thing because people can earn money. Trains, though, are a different story because you are in close proximity with other commuters. Sandy, authorities must watch this situation particularly.
I guess it is time and time again that we remind everybody to stay calm. And I emphasize that we need to apply a data-driven analysis, and numbers go up and down. And we just received a record level earlier this week. And make sure that it's everybody's aware that this is a critical time for Indonesia, in particular Jakarta and some major urban areas, that we need to avoid being the world headline during this pandemic crisis if we're not disciplined.
We saw the pictures of the people cramming into the subways. What do you say to those people? I mean, they're not using common sense.
You need to make sure that because the sectors of economy is being open and reopened in stages, that people are aware that they need to maintain social distance, wash your hand, wear face mask. My company, the company that I started, decided to postpone another 2 weeks, although the 5th of June, we're already have some clearance to reopen because we are worried that it is going to increase the risk to public health.
Let's talk about standalone restaurants, not in malls because those have yet to open. Standalone restaurants have begun to reopen with spacing of tables and restricted capacity, all staff required to wear masks. Now, it's a start, but like airlines, owners are going to want full seating to recover the revenue they lost, right, Sandrina?
Of course, you want as much income as possible to come as soon as possible after having no income for so many months. But just like Sandy, I am truly concerned about the people's safety. Data is showing that actually in Jakarta, the numbers have decreased for a while, but it has spiked again. The numbers have almost doubled to 6,500 new cases for the first 9 days in June, compared to only around 3,500 in the first 9 days in May. And still they expect or predicted that this will continue to rise after people have went home for Mudik or the holidays during Idul Fitri. And you know, Dalton, people should not take this new normal idea literally. Nothing is normal, as you said. They're supposed to say new abnormal. Witnessing what happened at one of the train stations in Jakarta, where people were frantically pushing each other because the capacity of the trains have been reduced to only about 40%. And with the lack of discipline and awareness amongst our people, this is going to be a huge issue. Experts are questioning also the possibilities of officials deliberately holding back on mass testing and underreporting fatalities. So me personally, I'm concerned. Of course, we want business to reopen and revive, get back again on their feet. But I'm not really sure with what's happening. Things are gonna get better really soon.
Okay, one other sector, churches and mosques. You know, many were happy to join others in Friday prayers. It's an important part of Islam that people missed, but there needs to be caution there too, right, Sandy?
I attended the first Friday prayer after almost 10 weeks of no Friday prayers. And people are struggling to find this new requirement of not being close to each other because it's so counterintuitive. In the past, you need to pray close to each other, but now you need to keep a distance. So I would think that this social gatherings, and for Muslims, the washing your hands as part of the your ablution must now be accompanied by soap. And I guess government must be ready to reimpose restrictions if cases spike. I do concern also about the economy, whereby we need to get jobs numbers being taken care of, small medium enterprises be back in operations, but still the risk to public health, we just have to re-emphasize and keep on re-emphasizing that this the first and foremost is the safety and the health safety of our people.
Okay, the next openings. The opening of malls comes on Monday, a major part of Indonesian lifestyle, as we all know. Sandrina, that will be another test of health measures. What do you say to people who are mall goers?
Of course, take care of yourselves, abide by the regulations, implement all the health protocols, and also clear regulations and sanctions must be applied. Now we know that everybody's wearing masks because there is a fine of 250,000 if you are caught in public spaces without a mask.
More Hot Indo is coming up shortly. Back to the Future, how this business is helping hygiene and romance. You're watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Here's hot topic number 3, Back to the Future. It's a throwback to the 1950s. That's when drive-in theaters were a big thing, when you pile a bunch of your friends in your car or even in your trunk or a special date and watch the latest movie. In Cikarang, west of Jakarta, the Lippo Property Group opened the latest version this month, mainly to cope with the coronavirus threat. Here, you can order food, even groceries to take home right from your car. Now, it is free and the audio is Bluetooth to your car and opens every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. This was a big thing when I was growing up in Hawaii, and I even watched the movie sometimes. Was it a big thing here, guys?
Well, I grew up in Bali, and all we saw during my olden days, those yesterdays, were layar tancap, not drive-thrus. It was like those mobile theaters that goes from villages, and you just stick it into the ground and you use projectors. But
similar. That's kind of a small version of a drive-in theater.
yeah, but walk-in. Not driving.
Oh, you walked. Oh, and you sat on the ground. Okay, I'm
Yes.
talking about these where you know, in these days of keeping within yourselves and trying to confine the spread, drive-in theaters. Now, Sandy, did you go to drive-in theaters when you were young, or even when you were going to school in the States?
No, here in Jakarta, we have it in Ancol. We have Ancol Drive-In, and it's very popular for kids my age. When I was in junior high, senior high school, I think they have stopped it right after I finished high school. But it was quite popular. And I guess in the States, in the 50s, there are like 5,000 drive-in theaters. And then when I was going for summer school, we also have spent time. But now there's only less than 500, and as big as 3,000 cars can go in. It's fun, although there was no Bluetooth back then, so the sound is not really good quality. The picture is not good quality, but you just, especially when you're with your friends, enjoying in your car. So it's memory lane, really a nostalgic moment.
Yeah, and this one in Cikarang, they're limiting the amount of cars in to 25 at a time because they don't want you to bunch up and defeat the purpose of it. And you can't socialize with other, which I guess, you know, that was fun. But can you guys remember the last movie you saw at a drive-in theater? I mean, and my memory, if I remember, was an Elvis Presley movie. It was called Viva Las Vegas. I mean,
the last time is, I think it must be Jaws 2 or something for me.
Well, not even Jaws 1, Jaws 2, yeah.
Jaws 2 or
Okay.
some kind of variation of Jaws.
This is a breakthrough, a great idea. If it weren't so far away in Cikarang, I would definitely go. So hopefully, maybe if there are malls in Jakarta that have spacious parking lots, open areas in Jakarta or closer to where I reside, that I would definitely go. This is a nice option for taking the family out after
Yeah, and
so
for
long.
single people, it's one of the few places you can go on a date these days. So
Yes,
look
indeed.
at it that way. Yeah, the romance aspect. Yeah, I'm not talking about me.
Yeah.
Dalton, the one in Ancol got closed particularly because
Of that.
people are just having
Yeah, a
good
lot-
time in the car.
A lot of the cars were shaking. Okay, I got it. It is feedback time, and we want to hear from you. We definitely do. Now, DeBisto had this question on Instagram. What sectors will flourish during the new normal phase? Sandy, can you answer that real quickly?
Small, medium enterprises, fast-moving consumers goods, food, digital, I think jamu, health-related like face masks, even hand sanitizers is going to be booming.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and Boral posted this on our YouTube page. Great news. Regards from Brunei. Well, thanks for watching, Boral, and tell others in Brunei all about us. Here's how to contact us with your feedback. Email at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.com or comment through our Hot Indonesia or Indonesia Channel Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Final words now from Sandrina.
Yeah, Dalton, we know that having a rapid test here in Indonesia is not free and it's quite costly. It could cost up to $25 to $30 each if you go to the hospitals. And I found out that we can buy it actually online. I bought a whole pack. This has 25 inside. This is a separate kit. And I could buy it for about 150,000 each. And it's already complete with everything you need. So this is for me. I'm doing this because anticipating like workers coming from their mudik, it would be safe for us to give them a rapid test and make sure that they're negative before you allow them to start to work again at your homes or at your offices.
Yeah, and the test should be free. I mean, that's free in other countries.
It isn't yet in Indonesia.
Yeah. Final word, Sandy.
Boosting your immunity. Some goes to vitamins. I go for jamu. And this is the jamu that will increase your immunity. It's called kojima, korma, jinten, and madu. It's from our traditional herbs industry. So loving your product and supporting Indonesia local products to boost your immunities. Health basis is going to boom after the reopening.
Sounds like a Japanese product, and this sounds like the Home Shopping Network, but that's okay. It's a good cause. And my final words now. You know, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just back from cataract surgery and adjusting to a bigger and brighter world. It's always said that good health is the most important thing in life, because without it, nothing really matters. And you struggle without good health. So no matter what you own, really, in these COVID-19 times, think about the blessings you have if you are healthy, and keep working to stay that way and the health of others around you. And that is Hot Indonesia for this week. For Sandrina Malakiano, Santiago Uno, and me, thank you very much for watching. Please join us again next time. We're going to be here.